This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. Thank you so much for being here. This show is created to discuss life topics to challenge and transform your thinking. I'm really excited today. I have this amazing young man here. His name is Jeff Badu, and he is a parallel entrepreneur and a wealth multiplier. He is a licensed certified public accountant and the founder and CEO of Badu Enterprises LLC, which is a multinational conglomerate that owns several key companies. He is extremely passionate about financial literacy and currently hosts various literacy workshops throughout the country. And that is why I wanted him here, because I was reading some stories about him on LinkedIn, and I realized that he is doing things. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. And I really am so grateful to you, Jeff, for being here and spending this time with me. You know, this is really important to me and to my listeners, right? So what I try to do is to connect with you and then connect you to the people that listen, right? So that's super important this time that we spend together. So Jeff, if you don't mind, first of all, did I say your name right? Is it Jeff Badu?
Yes, that is exactly
Okay, I
correct.
just want to make sure I didn't butcher that.
For sure.
If you don't mind, can you tell us just a little bit more about yourself? I just gave a little synopsis, but I'd love
For
to just
sure.
hear from your own words. Who are you, Jeff?
Yeah, so definitely appreciate you for having me. Basically, I essentially I was born and raised in Ghana, which is on the west side of Africa, and ultimately came to the U.S. when I was 8 years old. And basically, I had migrated here with my older sister, and my parents had already been here, so they won the immigration lottery, and then my older sister and myself we came to the U.S. with them a few years later. So when I was 8, I was fortunately thrown into a neighborhood called Uptown in Chicago, which for those who may not know, Uptown wasn't the most pleasant place to put a child, especially a young male, a child that just came to America in the neighborhood. No fault of anybody, of course. But let's just say that I was headed down the wrong path, the wrong direction. And it took a very, very long time to pick things back up, right? Let's just say I was surrounded by the wrong group, the wrong crowd, basically not the most like-minded friends that you want a child to be associated with. So long story short, fast forward to 2001 was the year I came here when I was 8. And then in 2008 is when I went back to Ghana when I was 16
Okay.
on a family trip. And that's when I discovered my purpose in life, which is to inspire and support the super hungry to take hold of infinite resources in order to create an abundant lifestyle.
Hmm.
How I came about that was all the things that I was doing leading up to 16, I saw struggle firsthand. I saw with my own two eyes a lady that had two babies wrapped around her back and with apples, oranges, right? She had a basket full of apples, oranges, whatever it took to make ends meet. And I took a step back and I said, you know what? I meant to help that person. I meant to be a part of the solution to scarcity or poverty or
Wow.
any term you put it out there, and instead transition people to abundance, right? Into the riches, into learning about financial literacy. And I said, that person right there is super hungry. They're super hungry physically, they're super hungry mentally, and they need more, right? And I feel like if they had more, they would do more. If they had more, they wouldn't have two babies wrapped around their back selling apples, oranges, whatever it took to make ends meet. So that's where the term super hungry comes from, my purpose statement, and
Wow.
that I'm meant to help those who want to be helped. And when I looked in her eyes, I said, wow, like you want to be helped. But I didn't have the resources at the time. I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the education. And so what I do now is I equip people with financial literacy education through either our foundation, through either just the services we offer within the Badu Enterprises brand. And basically, at the age of 16, I started working 10 times harder, right? I started getting better grades. I surrounded myself with more like minded people. And my spiritual life got 100 times better because
Mm.
I started going to church. I started being a youth leader. I had a mentor who was in the church. And then I also had a close friend who was in the church as well. So everything turned around. That was a turning point in my life. That was a light bulb that shined. And I was able to go to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, got a bachelor's and a master's degree. I was the first person from my high school to get accepted at the U of I, Urbana-Champaign.
That's awesome.
And while I was there, I built my business plan, which is Badu Tax Services, LLC, and was able to do taxes for free for people. And then, right, I was also interning at a company called PricewaterhouseCoopers, or PwC. And in 2015, I passed my CPA exam, got my license in 2016 after 1 year full-time experience with PwC.
Mhm.
Left the company in 2016, started my own firm that's
Wow.
now known as Badu Tax Services LLC, which is a part of the overall umbrella of Badu Enterprises LLC, which is the multinational conglomerate in the finance industry.
That's pretty an amazing story, right? And it really shows you how we all really do have a purpose, right? You had to actually step out of Ghana, right? Is it Ghana, right? You had to
That's
step
right.
out in order to go back
Mm-hmm.
to get the revelation you got, right?
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
I wonder who you would have become had your family not gotten the lottery and you not left,
Mm,
right?
that's true.
Because you would have not looked at it that way because you would have been around it so much that you wouldn't have noticed,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
It's sometimes you have to step out in order to realize what's happening. Isn't that
Exactly.
something?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, sometimes you have to go through tragedy in order
Hmm.
to truly get to success. And to be honest, I don't really think you can truly become successful if you haven't really gone through
Mm,
like an experience, right? We need humbling moments, we need humbling experiences to
hmm.
really take us there. I think it makes the journey that much more enjoyable and the
Right.
rewards that much more fruitful, because you've actually gone through the struggle and you know what happens if you don't make it. You know what happens if you're
Yeah.
not successful.
Right.
Go right back
Right.
to the old way.
Well, failure teaches you a lot, right? I mean,
Exactly.
hard times and failure is, it's just feedback. It just gives you knowledge and power and thoughts. And that's
Exactly.
pretty powerful for you to go and say, she needs me. She needs somebody, and I'm going to do something about it. Most 16-year-olds don't think like that. Do you think that living here and going that road you were headed to, right? You said you were headed through having bad friends, not going the right direction and all of that while you were living in Chicago, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you do you feel like even though that was a struggle and what you were going through, seeing what you did when you went back to Ghana, did that show you that maybe you had more here than she did there and that's where the light bulb went out, like we could do better?
Yeah,
You know what I
basically, I
mean?
said I've been equipped with financial resources. I've been equipped with an opportunity that not many people get. And so to be
Right.
able to come to America and to be able to have this opportunity where very, very few people got it, I'm like, well, why am I throwing this opportunity away? Let me
Right.
embrace it and let me actually go out and work harder. Let me go out and get it. So it really took me going to Ghana to really realize how much
Right.
more I have in life.
That's so good.
And it was that, like, there is no turning back from here at all.
Right. But that's
Yeah,
that's such a you're teaching such a good lesson just in that, right? I mean, you don't even have
yeah,
to talk about everything else you do. You could
exactly.
just talk about that and transform people's lives. I was also born and raised in the projects in a lot of poverty, right?
Mm,
And I worked my tail off to get to where I am today. And I realized that when I speak to people around me who are still in that mindset of, living in that poverty mentality, I don't relate anymore because I'm not there anymore, right?
yeah,
But what you're saying is so enriching because yeah, you're teaching them financial literacy, but through your life and you showing, hey guys, listen, I actually came here not really knowing this country and had to like try to fit in because that's hard enough already, right? The culture is different, the people around you are different, your environment is different. That's already scary when you're a kid, you know? And then you are in a place where there is a lot of opposition. You're seeing a lot of like, maybe gang life around you and things you're not supposed to be seeing, right?
exactly.
And even with that, you rose above, right? So that's to show
That's
you that
true.
you're coming from two different places where you had some struggle, right? Where you came from your country to find a better life And while you were here, you were struggling. So people can't come with you and no excuses, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, not at all. There's definitely no excuses when it comes
Right.
to, the world we live in. Because the thing is, we're all able to live a certain journey. And the nice thing about life is we all go through our own experiences. So there's absolutely no excuses. I mean,
Right.
when it
Wow.
comes to it,
Wow.
because anybody can do it. Anybody can go out there and get it.
Right. Well, I mean, you're one of those guys that's a go-getter to begin with because right after even you said, okay, I'm going to do something about this, you actually put action to that, right? Most people will say
Hmm.
it, but there's no action. So not only
Exactly.
did you end up doing action, then you graduate from school, then you go into working for someone, then you're like, you know what, I'm just going to start my own thing like a year later. Like, who does that, right? So you're obviously somebody who says when you're going to do something, you're just going to do it, right? I mean, that seems like your personality.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to put your mind to it because if you don't do it, then I mean, what was the point of even starting it? What was the point of even writing it
Mm,
down? What was the
that's
point of
good.
anything? So you've got to, for me, my life literally depends on the things that I do. So if I don't do something that I say I'm going to do, then it's almost as if I died, basically.
Wow, that's wow. So your word is bond. That's
Exactly.
amazing. So let me ask you this, Jeff. When you came back at 16 years old, because how long were you there? How long did you go visit?
Just 3 months.
3 months. That's a long time. So you got to
Yeah,
see a
right.
lot, right? You got to
Exactly.
see a lot in 3 months because you got to experience it. You got to see the woman with the babies and the fruit and all of that. But then you also, since that woke you up, you probably were aware of a lot more, right?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I was like, man, that fellow that's down the street that's fixing that car, and you can tell that, man, if only if he had more, if only if he had more knowledge, if only if he knew how to run that business, he
Right.
probably wouldn't be the one that's under the car. He would be the one that's basically in the office running a team and just living the
Mm.
most abundant life that he can possibly think of.
Was that tough for you to transition coming back when you guys left Ghana and came back to the
Hmm.
States? Were you still in the same environment here at the States? Like, were you still living in Chicago, still in the same area and all of that when you came back?
Yeah, same city, same neighborhood, different people, completely different people. So I
Mm.
literally when you're gone for that long, you tend to lose certain relationships if you haven't
Mhm.
been keeping in touch with them. So that was something I had going for me because the folks that I was hanging around with, they sort of wandered off. Unfortunately, some people went to jail, some people died, right? It was a lot of crazy things that happened. But
Right.
overall, I just had to surround myself with new like-minded people. And to
Wow.
be honest, these weren't even new people. These were people that were already there. I just didn't notice that
Mm.
they were there for me, right? That they wanted to help me. I always was sort of naive. I always was sort of closed-minded to them, and I didn't want to hear what they wanted to say. Oh, go to church. I'm like, church isn't cool, basically. I was the
Right.
guy that was trying to fit in, trying to be the cool kid. But
Right.
then when I went to Ghana and saw that these are people that can potentially help me help somebody else, I'm like, I need to hang around with these people more often.
Wow. That's powerful, right? Because the literacy program that you teach, is it to the youth?
Yeah, so basically, we have the Badu Foundation that was formed in April of 2020, and we
Okay,
teach
recent.
financial literacy, to kids aged 6 to 18 on
Oh, that's
topics such as
wonderful.
budgeting, saving, investing, and scholarships.
That's amazing. And something that they don't teach in schools. They need to be teaching this, right?
Sure,
Most of us
sure.
are not educated like this in school. We're not. We have to wait till we get to college to learn something like this, or if we have a
Mhm.
parent that's savvy and teaches us. Otherwise, we don't get educated like that, right?
And
Are
here's
you
the
are you
thing,
learning that? Yeah,
I didn't even learn that in college. That's the
right.
sad part. Like,
Mm,
and I was an accounting major. I didn't learn
right.
financial literacy for myself. I learned
Wow.
how to manage the books of other companies, but they never told me, hey, this is how you do your budget, right? This is how you save money. This is how you
Wow.
invest. They didn't really teach me that. They only told me about how do I invest for other companies, other people, right? But I'm like, okay, well, what about my finances? They didn't teach me
Right.
that. And I can imagine for a non accounting major what they're learning. that's, in the aspect of financial literacy.
Right. Wow. So you're filling in a big hole, a big gap,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
Because I mean, even you yourself had to like be self-taught basically. So, and now, the powerful thing about this, Jeff, is you're teaching children something they're not going to learn somewhere else, but something they will use for life. This is like for life, right? It's a life
Exactly.
skill. It's
Exactly.
not like, you're just teaching them how to wash a car or go cut grass. Like this is
Mm,
serious stuff because most of our kids really don't know what that is. They don't. And I know coming from a poverty background that
mhm.
most of us are not taught that. And nor are we corrected in bad behaviors either, right? It's
Mm,
always about the most expensive sneaker, the most expensive car, the most expensive
exactly.
shirt. And
Exactly.
meanwhile, you're broke,
Exactly.
so it's a learning curve, but it's something that needs to happen. I
Exactly.
love though that you're coming at it not just financial literacy, but if somebody's asking you to also like speak into their life because of the area that they live in, you can speak into that too. You're not just coming and saying, I'm just teaching you something because I just feel like teaching you, but also because you understand it, right?
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
amazing. So have you been seeing like some results with the classes that you're teaching and everything? Because you just started. This is recent. It's like a year, right? A little over a year. How's
Yeah,
that
we
going? How's
started.
it going?
Yeah, we started a month after the COVID-19
Yeah.
pandemic began. So,
Yeah, why not? Right?
right, why not? Exactly. So when we started, it had 3 students, which 2 out of the 3 definitely gained a lot of value out of it,
That's good.
and they've been able to improve their financial literacy. So they've been able to find ways to make more money by taking surveys online, for example. They've been
Yeah.
able to learn more about saving, so they've been saving more money, and they've been more aware when it comes to finances. This year we have 30 students. Our program is in June, so June of each year is our main program that we do.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean the students have already received their materials for this year, and for example, we send a book such as Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have 3 books that I wrote, one of them being Infinite Expansion, How to Infinitely Expand Your Vision of Abundance.
That's
Right, so they're
wonderful.
reading books like that. They're getting budgeting, worksheets so they can fill out a budget, put their savings goal. This is how much money I want to make over my lifetime. So it's certainly making them more aware
Wow.
when it comes to this topic, and it's increasing their financial literacy. And the nice thing is their parents also get to learn at the same time,
Right.
because some of these kids are pretty young. You're talking about a 6-year-old hopping on the
Right.
Zoom. Usually they're bringing their parent with them, and so they're learning. And now it's like, everybody's teaching, everybody's learning, sort of thing. So it's been great so far, for sure.
That's amazing. Are you seeing any difference between how what age is it? 6 to what?
6 through 18.
18. Are you seeing a difference in getting the material faster between the younger and the older, or are they pretty much individual as far as
So
actually getting it?
yeah, to be honest, we don't have enough data to determine that,
Right.
because in our first group we had a 14-year-old and then we had a 9-year-old.
Okay.
So the 14-year-old got the material pretty good, but the 9-year-old was basically, they got it right, but of course the 14-year-old would probably know a bit more because they
Right.
they have more experience in life. But the 9-year-old also did a great job, though. We were playing games such as Cash Flow, right, by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and they were able to actually make some
That's
good moves,
amazing.
make some good investment decisions, for
That's
sure.
amazing. I am so impressed by you right now. Holy cow. That's amazing. I'm just loving this. I love I teach children how to cook. I have a
Okay.
business that I teach children how to cook. And some of those kids have gone on to culinary school and some of them have gone on to have side hustles and businesses with cooking and stuff like that. And it's so impactful, right? When you see that
Exactly.
somebody that you pouring into others or pouring their life to do something with it. And that's
Exactly.
something that, comes back to you, right? It just comes back to you, Jeff. And I'm really proud about what you're doing. So thank you for spending this time with me, but I don't want you to go just yet. I want you to let us know how I know that you said it started in June. Is it a year program or just a few months, or how do you work that?
Yeah. So basically, this year, every Saturday in June from 10 a.m.
Okay.
to 12 p.m. Central, we have 30 students that are learning financial literacy on different topics.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it's a 1 month program. Next, so we got 30 students this year.
Okay.
Next year,
Okay.
we plan to have 100 students, and that's not just in Chicago, but across the U.S. essentially. And our goal, at the end of the day, our goal is to have 100,000 plus students
Mm-hmm.
and doing a program once a day, basically, or doing
Okay.
something once a day
Okay.
for people to get engaged and learn about financial literacy.
So you're doing it for the month of, so they do it for a month, for the month of June,
Exactly, for the month.
and then you
Exactly.
wait until the following year and then do another month or so, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do
Okay.
check in with them throughout the year. So we send
Okay.
them resources throughout the year. So we might send them a book, we might send them an article, and we check in with them. We say, hey, how's everything going?
Yeah.
How's the finances going? And by the way, they get a $500 scholarship if they complete the program each year.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you got a 6-year-old, they can win a scholarship for 12 years, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
exactly. So that's another component. And then
So the students come back year after year? Is that what happens?
yeah, as long as they apply,
Oh, got
as
it.
long as they reapply, they're in the program. So you're talking about a potential 12-year relationship, a 12-year commitment to learning about financial literacy. And then
That's wonderful.
when they become 18, they can teach, they can be an instructor of the program.
Wow. Wow. What a big vision. Holy
Yeah.
Toledo. Okay. You're not playing games here. Gotcha. All right. So, but can new students jump in when next year, like when you have it up again, can they jump in?
hmm So that's a nice
Okay.
thing. Last year we had 3, this year we had 30. So that means we accepted 27 new students.
Okay. So
Next year
those
we'll have
three came
100.
in this year. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Next year we'll have 100. The following year we'll have 300. Then we'll have
Okay.
1,000. Then we'll have 3,000. Then we'll have 10,000. Then we'll have
Right.
30,000. Then we'll have 100,000.
I hear you.
Exactly.
Impacting a billion lives. I got it.
Exactly.
You ever thought about taking this type of program over to Ghana or?
Oh yeah, we actually have a partnership with a fellow that we've been able to connect with. So the same person that connected us together actually connected me with that individual,
Oh,
and
that's
we're now a
wonderful.
partner, a sponsor of their programs in Ghana, and we do plan to take our programs to Ghana as well. And we
Okay.
plan to utilize that partnership as the vehicle to get into Ghana.
Oh man, this is awesome. All
Yeah.
right. So what we need to do is put you in every school system in the country is what needs to
Oh yeah.
happen. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure. I mean, our end goal is to make every single person on this planet financially literate.
right,
Until we've achieved
right.
that goal, we haven't done our job, basically.
Right. And truth be told, I think that that's the only way to get people out of that poverty mentality and to actually do something with their lives, as opposed to thinking they have to depend on a system, a
Right.
government, or whatever.
Exactly.
So good for you, Jeff. That's amazing. So let me ask you this. I know
hmm
that the program had already started, so that's fine. How do people
hmm
support what you're doing? Because I'm assuming
Absolutely.
that this is a big project, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask: is it something that people can donate to and support as well, or how does that work?
Yeah. So one thing about this project or this foundation is we want it to be a community effort as well. So we
Good,
don't want to just be the ones pouring our dollars into the foundation. We want it to be like, hey, we're equipping the students with the financial literacy resources. But hey,
great,
community, you guys have some money. Let's fund the scholarships at least. Let's fund some
yeah,
materials. So with that being said, we do need funds to fund the programs to teach the
great.
kids. So anybody can go on our website right now at badufoundation.org. Once again,
Okay,
that's badufoundation.org, BADUFOUNDATION.org. And with that, you can make a donation in any amount. We have a GoFundMe campaign that's going right now, and we'll have
okay,
one each and every year, each and every time. And then we also have our PayPal donation that you can make. All donations are tax deductible since we
of
are a
course,
501c3
of course.
non-for-profit
And
organization.
you're a tax guy, for goodness sakes. Okay.
Exactly.
That's wonderful, Jeff. I'm proud of you and I'm proud of what you're doing. And I love that you're impacting the world the way you are. I mean, I was just excited to talk to you from the moment I read your story because I'm like, this guy is doing things and I want to know what he's doing. So I want to thank you very much for spending your time here with me and for giving us this information, because I mean, I'm already like, my brain is already like going, right? Like all these kids that I talk to all the time and my
Mm-hmm.
grandson and even all of them, I was
Mm,
like, this is impactful because they really don't know, Jeff. They
exactly.
really don't
Exactly.
know, you know?
Exactly.
And we got to get our kids savvy. We got to get them out there, you know, starting their own little entrepreneurial, you know, gigs and stuff like that. These kids got it. We just got to teach them the right way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we prefer to start them young because, as a young kid, as a young child, that's when your mind can easily be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not necessarily even manipulated, but that's when your mind can be filled with information that can impact you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
So we're hoping that this abundance mentality, that this wealth mindset will take them away from the poverty, the scarcity mindset that we've all always been known, especially people that look like myself. They can be able to take the resources that we give them, make
Yep.
something more out of it. And hey, who knows, generations that come after that, they
Yeah.
become abundant and wealthy as well.
And one thing I learned, you know, coming out of poverty and the projects as well is when you get that mind right, you don't fit there no more. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
You start to elevate a bit and you start to realize you're not comfortable in that skin anymore of being, you know, oppressed and being, you know, poverty and being in that place. And that's what we want, right? We want to pull our youth out of thinking that they need to be in gangs or, you know, commit a crime or not act right in school. You know, it is cool to know what you're doing in school, and a lot of kids used to think that that wasn't cool, so they thought it was fun to be the class clown and all that kind of stuff, you know. But we gotta make you know, we have to make education sexy, you know. And the
Exactly.
fact that it is a beautiful thing, and we don't have to wait till we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s to figure that out, right?
That's true.
Right? Like
That's
sometimes
true.
my grandson, he's 12 and he'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to go to school." And I'm like, "No, you should love to go to school. I mean, you're learning, your brain is growing, you know, but they get frustrated with school." So,
Mm,
but this kind of stuff, Jeff, is
mm,
needed because I think that they can see how they can apply this in their life, right? A lot of times when you're teaching them Spanish or French or whatever, they're just like, "I don't want to learn this stuff." But if you're teaching
exactly.
them dollars, you're teaching them money, right? And you're teaching them how to have it and live in a
Hmm.
place where they don't always have to be struggling or hearing no. You
Mm,
know, I think what you're teaching is a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for doing that and for using
absolutely.
your life the way you do. Bravo.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Bravo.
Appreciate it, Nina.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jeff, for being here. And you already gave us the website. Your
Hmm.
books, are they available to purchase anywhere or?
Yeah, so we have the Infinite Expansion book, Infinite Expansion, How to
Mhm.
Infinitely Expand Your Vision of Abundance.
That's
That's
awesome.
available on Amazon. And then my
Okay.
two other books, which include Seven Figures, How to Become a Millionaire, and The
Okay.
Legendary Asset, Six Reasons Why You Should Own Real Estate, are both available on jeffbadu.com.
I'll be picking those up. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't
And the
know real
kids,
estate, but I want to get into it. Yeah.
oh yeah, and the kids are reading the same book, by the way. These
Oh,
are the types of
that's
books that we're giving
fantastic.
them. Yeah, and plus Rich Dad Poor Dad as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, those books can be, purchased on the website jeffbadu.com, and
Perfect.
basically any proceeds we get actually goes to the foundation as well.
And what about your business? What is it that you do at your business? Is it just a tax firm or?
Yeah, so basically, to keep it short, Badu Tax Services is a CPA or tax firm that does
Okay.
tax preparation, tax planning, and tax representation for individuals and businesses across all 50 states in the US. And we
Hmm.
also have clients in over 20 countries now at the moment.
Oh my goodness gracious. You're doing too much at your age. I'm like, I gotta catch up. Anyway, Jeff, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I do. I
Absolutely. Thank
appreciate
you,
you.
Nina.
And guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. This man is doing some things. You have zero excuses for not doing anything. You have to do something. So please get on there. I'll put and make sure I link all of Jeff's information below. Make sure that you follow that. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast and leave us a review. We will be here soon. This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. Until next time.